Well, leave them on the table and look at them. Okay? Don't pull none of them out or anything.
Randy.
Oh,
Sorry.
they're actually shorter than what they're supposed to be.
Harold.
Supposed to be 41 foot regulation.
That must have been of last year.
I just stepped off like 12, little short step.
That's pictures of last year.
Just back up 2 foot past the
Oh,
stop.
is it?
I didn't know what it was. That's what it looked like.
Clayton.
No, opposite. Back this way.
Ma'am.
And Eugene.
Who?
Clyde.
Two behind you.
Kurt.
Going around.
Ann.
Going around. All right, look at her, Ann.
That's Ann.
Well, yeah, if you look at her, she's right.
Neil.
What?
Where'd he go? Spencer. Justin.
Tell them what your name is.
Who's the next one?
What's your name?
Justin.
Tyler. What's your name?
What?
Tell them what your name is.
Heather.
Don't need to do that. She looks like crazy.
Her baby is due in June. Mama, you need to move over. That's Mildred. Patsy.
Anything but the side.
That's Jay. I don't believe I'd have to identify this one. These are Amy's. Okay.
Come on, Jay. Quit hugging her. Jay.
Please don't. There it is. Take it away with it.
The beds are turned down. The beds are turned down.
Hello, Mommy.
They could have been.
My mommy's gonna have a baby named Lillian. Bye-bye. Take me.
First, I'm not sure that anybody else did that. I know it is. I know for sure it is. Well, I know of them. Anybody out of Nashville? I'm not sure. Anybody out of Nashville?
Simon says, hold your hand.
You're making me funny. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I don't know. I would, for Friday, I would not hurt it. Now, I believe that's my joy. I would talk to the boys.
Okay.
Did it, Harold? I know where 5 of them. Jeff was one. Jeff was one.
Foot and ball deal.
Who got him?
And get back up and fall down again.
London bridges,
Falling down.
London bridges, falling down.
Lady! Do it again. And this baby.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down,
American.
London Bridge is falling
Somebody
down.
bought it. I mean, that's real.
You'll see now.
Here, hip you up.
I think that changed. He was going to.
Do it again. Linda, do it again. Linda, falling down.
The London Bridge is falling down.
Yeah.
Reckon we'll build it back?
What?
Harold, you hearing the rumors
What
on
about that?
the secret talking about?
London That's yours or my mama's? Okay. That's yours or my
I'm pretty sure I didn't know. Well, you get that in front of the camera. I'm gonna love some of our kids.
Neil.
They're supposed to be making a salad. All roads go to 161. No, I had to issue one to finish it up. They went to the store this morning.
Vicky and she's due.
You see something? Catch it here.
This is their sister. Our two pregnant mothers.
Not for me.
July 6th.
August 31st.
Very good. Do we know what they are?
Girl.
All right.
Twin.
No. Twins.
Okay, y'all be quiet, boys. Just a minute. Okay, Ronnie. Good.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this food and ask you to bless it, nurse our bodies, bless our service, and bless the hands who prepared it. Father, we want to thank you for the friendships that we've developed in this family, and we want to thank you for everybody that's here, and pray that we can all come back next year and enjoy this fellowship and this togetherness. Forgive us for our sins and shortcomings, Father, and go with us. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Okay. Have you got somebody else? All right. All right, boys, get in there. Everybody but Slim. Jim has to wait. Shorty, you wait. You will wait now. You will wait now. ain't going nowhere.
Anything, they'll have anything.
John, you better put that up. He ain't gonna leave up. He said, give me Come on, Sherry. Carolyn, Neil. Come on. Let's go, hey, all
Taylor's going to be killed.
Well, if everybody had moaned and warned themselves, it would have been fine.
Yeah, I did too. It was. It did try to earlier this morning. It's warmer this morning than it was. Yeah, it did now. Yeah.
Betsy, you just keep walking right.
I'm trying to get right away.
That ain't what they say. Oh, okay. That's right.
Okay.
She said that.
Oh, my.
You want a pillow, Clayton?
I got one of those.
I'm pretty good shape right now.
Are you sure?
If I get warm, I need a pillow.
Coffee?
No. Okay. Did you? You're on the record all this, ain't you? Going over here. I was just comfortable on that. Gotta think, what we doing on that?
Yeah, we are. Fix and start telling the tales, but we've still got to what's the rules? Like she'll tell her story, and then anybody can add to it. Or if they want to retaliate if it's on them and tell something on the other one, then they can.
Yeah,
Okay.
All right, any other stories?
Y'all gonna have to talk real loud though, where everybody here.
Hey, Melvin, your story was on spilled milk. Tell your story. We just gonna fix you right.
They gonna fix the dog up there.
Man, that water fountain running out there is about to put him to sleep when you go get it.
Y'all sit down, listen to me.
They always told them not to sell any milk that had dirt in it. So they got in a fight, and one of them poured the milk out on the other one. And they slipped to the house, got them some clothes. Now, how they got there and got clothes, I don't know. And the next morning, Daddy said, boys, what happened to the milk? They said, Daddy, you told us never to sell no dirty milk. Is that right, boys? I don't know which is
That's
more
not
fun.
hard of the whole story, but that's part of it.
Okay, go ahead and tell the rest of it.
Okay.
You want me to finish the story?
Yeah, and who poured out what?
Well, I poured the bucket of milk on Clayton's head. Daddy asked the next one, said, boys, what happened to this milk? I said, Daddy, you always said not sell no dirty milk, so I poured it out to the hog. The old cow said it put in the bucket, and I poured the rest of it out the back. I don't know. I remember him pouring the milk on my head, but I don't remember how I got the clothes.
That's next one we got listed.
All right. How old was Where's that big boy?
Picking up a bucket of milk. I don't big probably keep that.
I don't know.
You don't enough, I don't enough lie to get back to probably get that.
I don't know why or what, how it came about, but there's more tails on Clyde and Clayton than there anybody else, so you all can guess the rest.
Hey, we had to survive.
Each other.
Each other. Right down about getting whooped. Billy tape up did that.
I don't know about that.
Remember that one. Oh, you want me to tell you? You tell it better, yeah. Well, one Sunday morning. Hello now. Sunday morning. Hello. I'll tell you that. One Sunday morning, Daddy sent us to the potato patch to get a bucket of potatoes for lunch. Well, when we left,
Was it you and
me and Clayton, we went and got the potatoes. Well, I told Clayton, we started back to the house, I said, now if you don't pack them potatoes halfway, I ain't packing the rest of them. Well, he supposedly packed them halfway. He didn't, but he saw he did.
I did.
So, he just set the potatoes down and I picked them up. No, I didn't pick them up. Take that back. I said, we was about, forced me up there to use my age from the house. Well, I didn't know Daddy was nowhere around. I said, I ain't packing them damn potatoes. Well, that's what all hell broke out. Daddy said, son, what did you say? I said, Daddy, I didn't say nothing. He said, oh, don't you lie to me. I don't want you to. Well, he said, come here, I'm going to whoop you. Well, he told him off the sapling and he beat the fire out of him. He said, I ain't done with you. Now you tell him, I'm going to whoop you. Well, we got onto the house and he whooped me again. I'm serious. When he whooped you, he whooped you. I mean, he whooped me with a biker stick. I'm telling you. But anyway, he said, now, son, said, now, go to the well and get a bucket of water. Well, he'd already whooped me twice. Well, I thought, well, Daddy, I'll get even with you. So he sent me to the well and get a bucket of water. Well, I just turned rope, bucket, and all loose down in the well. So I went back to the house and I said, Daddy, I dropped that rope and bucket in the well. He said, you done that on purpose, I'm going to whoop you. So I got 3 whippings one Sunday morning. Now, let me rephrase it. I got 3 beatings one morning. But that's the story.
That's the only really thing that I remember that Daddy done that was really wrong. When he whipped, he really whipped.
Oh, man, he did. He really whipped.
I mean, he
You're
really
fooling with somebody like Clyde, you had to.
Now, he might promise you a whooping, it might be 3 days before you got it. But he'd say maybe 3 nights later at supper, he said, oh, you remember that whooping I told you I was going to give you? Well, I'm going to whoop you after supper. Well, you have, yeah, you would. That's the way he operates. That's the way I done my kids. Maybe straight. Maybe they've been a little bit better about doing that to us.
There's a few times you said that.
You got to turn in the shop.
Yeah, they wouldn't have.
If I had a family now, I would get out.
I would too.
All right, Daddy, you got strawberry patch. Is your topping?
One guy get one. What?
Strawberry patch is your topping.
Well, Dad sent me and Clyde back on the place to clean out some strawberries. Grass had grown up and it was in the strawberry hedge, and a lot of that grass was what we call tickle grass. It was real fine grass. Can't talk about that. Well, I don't know. Sometime up in the morning, must have been about 10 or 10:30. I guess me and Clyde had been smoking, and one of us picked up, and I don't remember which one. One of us picked up a handful of that grass and said, I wonder if this will burn. And the other one said, I don't know, let's see. And we set that grass afire, and it got down close enough to burn our fingers, and we threw it down. Well, when we threw it down, that fire was gone.
Well, who threw it down?
I don't know. I don't remember which one
I
of us
thought
was.
Clyde said he did it.
Well, he may have. I don't
Well,
remember.
Clyde said, give me a light. So I give him a light, and the match got too strong on my finger right here, and I ain't dropping it in there.
Okay. I don't. But anyway, we fought fire for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Right behind the strawberry patch. It was in the spring, and right behind the strawberry patch was a hay field, left the diesel field. It hadn't been cut the year before. Right behind that was the woods that went all the way to the creek. Now, you boys know what I mean, all the way to the creek. It's a long way back there, but it's all woods. So we fought fire to keep it from getting out. We fought for an hour and a half to 2 hours, and we got to the house, and they was eating dinner. And I guess, of course, I remember the fire too, but now, I don't never remember, and I guess we thought we would have got a whipping for this, but I don't remember getting a whipping for that. Maybe they, I don't know, maybe Clyde might remember, I don't.
You get a whooping for it.
You would have more whippings than I do.
Well,
He did more.
I
don't remember the
I
whipping.
took my part in your part too. He whooped us hard. And that spring was the best berry patch we had the whole year that we went off. And I said, now, Daddy, ain't you ashamed of whooping us for this?
I don't remember no whipping.
You think we I don't think that it's out.
Daddy.
Yeah, his car thinks so. I didn't, that was
That's right, you didn't take your name with you.
I remember him whipping, and I remember him whipping hard. But I don't remember him being a brutal man.
Because Clyde got them all.
He did. And if I'd raised punch boy like he did, I'd have whipped hard.
There's that point there. Now I'll tell you one about, well, it's not really on Harold. But it's concerning.
You thought you was going to get out of
Is this
this.
the truth or a lie?
Well, this is the truth. This is the truth.
Well, let somebody else tell it then.
The day Harold was born, me and Clayton and Wilburn was back there chopping out sorrel. Of course, back then you didn't know if your mother or your neighbor or whoever was expecting a kid because you didn't hear that person. So Daddy come back there about 2 o'clock and he said, boys, come to the house. I got something I want to tell you. Well, we knew something was wrong because Daddy never did stop us from working. So we went to the house and we got there back porch and he said, boys, come on in here. Said, you got a baby brother. I want you to look at him. I said, I'm not going in there and look at him. I'll never. And I didn't look at him till late that afternoon. I kind of sneaked around through the house.
I remember the afternoon Harold born well, and C.S. and Hugh Gordon had met in the backyard on the shade tree. And Hugh Gordon said, what if that doctor's got a little boy there, a little baby brother in there? And I remember what my comments was. I remember that.
I remember
I
that.
remember that really distinctly. And Mama always said I was thinking Harold. I didn't want nothing to do with it.
That went on for several years.
Now I'll tell you one on Forrest. He's not even, well, he knows the truth. He denies it. Forrest was about 16. So I guess he decided he had done got all of it and he was going to get. So he had done something and Daddy said, son, said, I'm going to whoop you. Forrest said, no, you're not going to whoop me. So he started running off down the hill. Daddy said, son, you're going to have to eat supper. I'm not going to run you down. When you come back to eat, then I'm going to whoop you. So when Forrest come back to the house to eat supper, whatever he done, I don't know what it was. But he thought he wasn't going to get a whooping, but he knew he had to eat, so he had to come back to the house. Sooner or later, and that's when he got a whooping when he got back.
What that you were supposed to be replanting corn. Now, who was that? Was that Clyde Clay?
It probably was.
Oh, Clyde Clay? I remember that. I remember something about they were supposed to be replanting corn. Well, they got through just real quick, and they came to the house, and Dad said, or that night, Dad said, boys, did y'all get done? They said, yeah. Well, nothing else was said about it. A few days, all the corn come up in one pile.
I believe me and Clyde
We thought we got through with all that seed corn, well, we'd be done.
But if we would have got a whole lot more women than what we got at WFA.
Well, how did you have time to work if you've always been here?
Well, it could take a few But, and you know, if he was still alive and able to, he probably would have from the language we did and if we do it. If he didn't know that, he probably would have been
Maybe he was already sick by the time he got
Probably a lot of it.
But it was a good old days. You had nothing to worry about. You didn't have to worry about it.
Tell them about what? Tell them about
Except getting their next weapon.
Do what?
taking Clayton to the bus station.
No, I didn't tell that. Well, when Clayton was service, well, you seen one of us, you seen both of us. I mean, we were together all the time. And I guess that's probably one of the worst things that hurt me is when he was serving. It really was. When he got on the bus, I followed the bus all the way to the South Nashville. Well, you know, we was together all the time. Like I say, we had some good times and bad times too.
Does anybody have any stories about Granny Carp?
Which one? Granny who?
Granny Carp.
Yeah, well, I don't know the story. I don't know the name now.
Start over.
She was. Maybe Paul's
The first part, let's turn that.
Huh?
What did you say after that first part?
Oh, I said if I'd been happy, I'd whooped her every day, just got a good start.
What about Mammy Hall?
No, I can't say no bad about my Mammy Hall, man.
You got any stories?
It's
Yeah, I have one.
Okay.
On Mammy Hall?
Yeah.
Okay. I used to, Mammy and him lived in the house with us till I was about 7 years old. Now, I don't remember this, but Mama said this. And I used to, Aunt Lola and Mammy would do just about anything I wanted done. So, I would hold my breath to get them to do. If I didn't get my way, I would hold my breath. So one day while Mammy was washing, and I had the old tubs outside, and said that I held my breath and said, Mammy said, here comes your mom. I said, I usually catch my breath. And she said, I didn't catch my breath, and said the tub was sitting there with the water in it. She raised my dress and throwed a pan of water on me. And she said, I never held my breath with Mammy again. That's all I can remember. Mammy was good. I mean, I know. Mammy was good to everybody. Mammy Hall was good to everybody.
So that's where you get it then?
Yeah, that's
Hall
right.
side.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember holding my breath. Mom said I never going to be a boy, she just go up there.
She just around here in one.
Hey, Mildred?
Yeah.
Do you remember any stories on when Daddy and Clayton were born?
Oh, thing I had children.
Hey,
You what? Lord, I had children.
I got proof of that.
Oh, you had
Y'all
10
think
children?
that woman wouldn't meet me? That's right here. That scar right there on my arm. What's your birthday?
It was an accident.
You tried to burn me up. She didn't want to take it? Huh? See that scar right there? She tried to burn me up right there.
But, hey, Mildred, she didn't know she was having twins, right? She had no-
No, when Clyde Clayton came, she didn't know she didn't know she was going to have twins. So she just had enough of clothes for one baby. And when the doctor came and he told her, you're fixing to have twins. And Mama said, I don't have no clothes. So the next day, an old lady that lived up the road from us, by the name of Miss Nan Adamson, she tore up bed sheets and made clothes for the other one enough till Mama could get them some clothes made. I remember that.
What about when they got sick? What was it?
Oh, they had colitis one time, which is the same thing now as a kind of virus, of what we would call a virus. And the doctor said if he wasn't looking at one, he would think he was examining the same child over and over. So we like to lost her. And so there was an old lady that lived by us then that had a little, I'll tell this because I remember this part. That she said, Miss Bessie, she said, I've got a baby cradle. Well, she went and got this baby cradle. And Lord, I rocked a blue million miles with my foot of morning. I'd have to get out and keep them babies.
You remember her talking to you like
Well, Mama got breakfast. I never will forget. I'd sit there and sleep and rock that cradle.
Is that when you
I
tried
sure
to burn
hate
me up,
it.
Mildred? Where you would have to rock me in the morning?
I was having to work with them people too. That's the reason I
Work.
That's right.
Well, you wouldn't, but what was you, 8 years old when we was born?
When you was born, I bet you I cared for you more than Mama did.
Well, I don't remember that.
Well, I bet you if Daddy was here, she would tell you, hey, Gertie.
Hey, Gert, well, I don't know about that.
I know.
But now just to show,
Justin, Clyde and Clayton and Justin seem more like my kids than they do brothers. I've always said that. Because I had to tend to them so much. I changed
but
more
now
time than Mama did.
to tell you how important me and Clayton was when we was born, we're the best two kids that Mom and Daddy had. Because the morning we was born, the next morning, Daddy got out and went all up and down that holler down there to go tell everybody he said he had touched that 3 years old. He didn't do that on all the rest of the kids. So he went around all the neighborhood telling everybody else that we was born. But when they was born, he didn't go up and tell everybody. But he did he see us?
I think so.
Do what?
I think so.
Yeah, he did, yes he did. He sure done that.
Well, when Clyde and Clayton got so sick and everything, what was it they fed her that got the strength back? Wasn't it?
Sweet potato meal.
No, that wasn't the time. I forgot
That's what we had
that.
W1.
No. This was the time you got to start
It
there.
wasn't you, I
They were sick, but they was crying all the time. And Mama couldn't get them to keep from crying. She just couldn't do anything. So there was an old gentleman that came out to the road in front of our house and got the mail. I'm trying to think of his name. He was a Wilkerson, but I can't think.
Oh.
Mr. Frank Wilkerson. And he told Mama, he said, Bessie, he said, those babies are hungry. Well, Mama, of course, she really didn't believe him. But that day, she made a sweet potato custard. And you know, you put milk in it. So she fed them some of that milk from that custard. They went to sleep and slept till way in the night. And she knew they were hungry, so then she put them on the bottom.
Well, I believe they fed them well.
We got this after we got 20 years old. We run this way.
Old Daddy beat it all over.
Oh, fly, no.
Yeah. Do you remember when Wilbur and Forrest was born?
No, I don't remember. I don't remember a lot about J.C. Forrest and Wilbur. I don't remember a lot. The only thing I remember about Forrest, he had a temper worse than ever.
Still got it.
Definitely has not lost that.
Mine's always told me the little stick of dynamite. Shoot.
But I don't remember much about them when they were growing up.
Well, we got what we deserved. We thought it was bad at the time, but it wasn't. It wasn't bad.
It sounds like me and Jim Baker by far the worst kids.
I know more about
Why
them.
did y'all get, did you and Daddy get in a lot of fights?
Oh, yeah, we used to fight.
I don't mean together, I mean, didn't you have to take that for him?
Oh, yeah, he'd get school, he'd get in a fight, and he'd come and say, Bubba, I said, I got in a fight. He's got
I remember. I remember getting a lot of fights. I never go get it.
Yeah, and I've always out there.
Forrest didn't remember anything all ago. I know he's got Alzheimer's.
Well, now, Mildred and Forrest and Clayton was Daddy's pigs. And we just had to take what was left.
I remember Clayton.
Yes, he was now. Yes, he was. But of course, I tell Daddy that never was my daddy. I said, Daddy, you don't whoop him like you do me. You think for him and do me. No, son, I don't make no difference. If he does wrong, I'm going to whoop him. But I don't think he got the whooping right.
Then again, we should put a leader flag.
The first one to get him.
I don't remember about that, Carney. I know I got my fair share, but when I was first around, I don't.
We hear all about Mom and everybody. Did Granny ever whip any of you?
No, Mama never was. Mama whipped every day, but it wasn't like that.
We better answer that. I think Shirley can answer that.
He wore me, I did.
Yeah?
She felt sorry for us, so Daddy whooped us all down.
Harold?
I remember Mama whooping.
Now, Mama whipped me a whopper. The only time I
Oh, really?
I remember several hard ones on my end, but only a handful. I don't remember 2 or 3 different ones.
Mama whipped just about every day.
Yeah. I remember a lot.
She did Mama said.
She didn't have it.
But now, yeah, now you talking about favorites. Justin was Mama's favorite.
Yeah, Mom, I really, well, I think so much you and her. You and
Justin. She's partial to Justin.
But now, Mama was partial to the boys. Mama was partial to the boys.
Why you how you get that?
Just because Mama would let me do nothing. And then the kids would put clean up. But Daddy, if I wanted to do anything, I'd go to Daddy.
You had to do something, make you live in
Well, I know. But Daddy, I'll have to say, Daddy was more partial to me than Mama.
Yeah, I did come up with her way.
Mama, I'd go back and forth.
But Mama, I told Mama, when Mama was real sick one day, and she said, well, I don't know why them boys ain't coming to see me or something, I don't know. I said, Mama, what would you do if you'd had one more boy? She just laughed.
Well, Mildred, you know them y'all mom. Surely to God, they wouldn't got the meeting with and the mess that we got hung up with you. They wouldn't have to put up with you. We had to put up with you. If she'd had 2 or 3 more kids.
No, I just said, what, you had one more boy, see, that would have been me.
Oh, one more boy, that's got to count you.
No, that's counting me, what about a boy?
What we got?
I'll tell y'all one on Mildred. We decided to get married. Clay.
Yeah.
Clay wanted to go tell Mildred, so we went. And she was in the kitchen doing something, and he went in there and told her. She come by the door where I was, kind of looked at me, tried to grin, and started bawling. Just she said, "Ann, it's not that I don't like you."
Oh no, is the record being made of all this?
Yeah. We're getting it on tape, Bill. Now, you children, y'all know how good of people, how good families you have. Yeah.
All y'all know how it always be treated.
They may use that against you. Well, you did this, why can't I do this?
Well, y'all ain't told anything on Weber, and I know he was as mean as the rest of them.
Well, I got one I can tell on River. No, not really.
Back up on that, go back up.
Oh, come on.
Well, me and him and Clayton was playing ball one day. Me and Clayton River, me and Clayton would gang up on River. You know, 'cause he's bigger than we was, so we'd gang up on him. Well, we was playing ball one day, and he made me mad. So I just took the ball and threw it real hard and hit him right in his growing section. And I thought I'd kill him. He went down to his knees and he said, "Man, you have killed me. You have killed me." Best I can remember, I said, "Well, just go ahead and die." And that's really the only thing I know about River, really, that we really done it. We did fight every day.
Who got hit in the head with the ball? Ball bat.
That's Weber. No, it's me.
Did you all have a regular ball?
Huh?
Did you all have a regular ball to play with, like they have to play now?
Yeah, I believe it was.
You know what kind of balls we had to play with?
What,
Oh, hey,
Ray?
We would take a sock and fill it,
Yeah.
put a rock in it and fill it, wrap it around with other socks and other rags and everything, and that's what we played ball with.
Yeah, we've done
And
that.
a plank, you didn't have a bat, you had a plank.
But I believe at this time,
And I'm not that much older than y'all.
yeah, but this was on, we did that too. But when Justin, or which one, was you or Harold that got hit? Was it you?
Me.
Okay, at that time, I think it was just a regular ball. And I believe it was a ball bat.
Take it back.
Yeah.
Weber's good.
Was it Weber and it hit him?
I believe, yeah, I believe it was.
No. Through the bat. He hit the ball through the bat.
Yeah.
Boy, he smashed his face, I remember that.
You know, you think about, he swung the bat, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, people used to hit the ball.
Yeah, it
you
wasn't
know,
no,
you
it
know,
wasn't.
swing the bat. That's what he does. His job, yeah.
But I remember
Set it
taking
for
it out.
Now kids have to have a $200
Oh, yeah.
toy to play with. To be satisfied.
$300 tuition.
Yeah, exactly. And we play barefoot.
Well, I'm sure if Mom and Daddy was here now, they would say, "I didn't think we'd break that much."
Oh, I believe they'd be proud of what they did.
Yeah, they would.
I know there's been a lot of times I've heard Clyde say, "I sure wish my mom and daddy was here to see what we've done."
Yeah, I often,
You might remember one of those spankings he was Clyde.
I said he didn't get it.
I often think
Well, that's what I'm saying. He probably would.
the time there was nobody raised any poorer than we were. But I never remember going to bed hungry. Sometimes we didn't have what we wanted. We didn't get up and go to the refrigerator and get something. We always had plenty to eat. But we didn't have a lot of other things that some of the children had.
Didn't Clyde say that your mama would make 2 pans of biscuits at breakfast?
Oh, Lord, yes.
Oh, Daddy, tell about what your grill was on Easter. Daddy,
Huh?
tell what y'all's excitement was on Easter,
What?
Easter basket.
You missed the rest of them. They tell you the same thing.
All the eggs you want to eat.
That's right.
Any way you want.
All eggs. All eggs you want
All
to eat?
eggs.
Any way you want.
Right.
And I never remember not getting anything for Christmas. We always got one little something. Now sometimes, I remember one time, I only got a set of Jacks. And we always got
We
fruit.
always got one toy for
One toy. I never remember a Christmas that we didn't get one toy.
Yeah. Always.
That's the reason you used to get Jack
But I remember one time I was a great big girl then, and I got this set of Jacks. That's the reason I told Mama after Daddy passed away. The boys said, "Now, Mama, don't you worry about getting us nothing for Christmas." I said, "Now, you boys speak for yourself." I want Mama to get me something. It's not nothing but a hanky. And she did. I never remember a Christmas that I didn't get something from Mama and Dad, or how Daddy was living in after. Mama was left that got us something.
Give for Christmas, they feel like it.
Yeah.
You lay your pants in the chair.
Right. Right.
The children now can't believe that we were raised.
I don't believe it.
They don't believe. And I don't know, but I know there was people before us that was even raised and had less than we did, like our parents, hearing them talk. Children now just, if they had to go back to even the way we were raised.
I tell my two girls the way I was raised and say, "Daddy, I don't believe that."
They can't afford it, yeah.
Well, you might have been
What's
stretching.
Carlinda was raised?
You might have been stretching some of it all right.
Like you got a devil pad, don't you?
Yeah. Well, since the record's been made of this, I want to say this. You know, I don't know who will see this in the next generation, so, and of course our parents was strict and they disciplined hard and they had the discipline and all of that, and most of them in that generation didn't do so. But I think I'm right in saying that one of the things that I remember most was, I don't ever remember, I hope I can say this, I don't ever remember going to bed at night at bedtime without hearing Daddy pray.
Yeah.
Every night, by his bed, he'd bow and say his prayers before he went to bed. And he never sat down and eat without giving thanks. Don't ever remember him doing that. I will never forget the morning that I left to go to service, the prayer he prayed. And I remember a lot of these other things. I remember the whippings, all the negative things. I remember all that. But I think I remember that more than I did the other thing. So if record's being made of it, I want that put on record. I'm done.
And most of the time, maybe in the later years, they might have been a little different. But when we were smaller, we all had to go to the table.
Yeah.
We couldn't come in just 1 or 2 at night and eat. We had to get up early in the morning too.
Get up and eat breakfast.
Yeah,
You
we
had
had
to get up and go
we
to
had
that
to get up.
table.
Yeah, we had to get up.
Wasn't no
and go-
shift eating in.
You didn't complain on what you had on the table. You eat or you don't allow it. Because it wasn't there. It wasn't up there. You can say, I didn't like it. It didn't do you no good. You didn't like it, you don't allow it. Because it wasn't else to eat. That's right.
You had to like it.
Yeah.
What do you want for breakfast, or what do you want for dinner? What, just pick. And I don't remember thinking anything like that. That's just the way it was.
Well, if my daddy was still here, I'd let him give me another one.
He probably deserved it. He probably got one.
He hear the way you talk today, he would give you a lick.
That's right.
If he's here, I'd let him give me another one.
But glad you wouldn't want him back.
No.
He was there.
No, that's right, I wouldn't. Sure like, I didn't want me if you're late. I'd stand up and take it like a man.
They did all their folks. I remember we'd go to Mammy Hall, that Christmas week, and Aunt Gertie's and Aunt Nellie's, and you know, you just visit people during that whole Christmas week.
You know, if these nieces and nephews would start having dinners, well, we could go visit them, couldn't we?
White 57 Chevrolet, and we was real, just real proud of it. So we took it over to the, I don't know what you call it, retirement home, or what, that she was in there, back behind Highland. And we drove it over, and you know how she had that window, and she'd be sitting in that chair looking for you. So we drove it up, and we walked in, and me and Daddy sat down and started talking to her and explaining to her that what it was. She never did have much, but she had a jar of money that she kept in her bedroom. There's just pennies and dimes and quarters. And she told Dave that, and I didn't have it licensed then. I think we drove it over there. But I needed, I think, to get to go get a plate for it, $75 or something of that nature. To me that was nothing. But she told Dave she'd go in there and you go get some change. You go get his license plate so he can drive around. I thought that was so, she didn't have much, but what she had she wanted to give. And that's just always stuck out in my mind. I remember that. And before then, even before then, when Dad would go over there on Sunday mornings, she'd bring us, me and Heather back some change. She'd always bring us back some chicken. And that's the best chicken I've ever had. It always will be. That's my story.
It would not eat the chicken because it wasn't gravy. Somebody asked me, I don't know who that was here a while back, it was one of the family. They said, can you cook chicken like Granny? And I said, no. And I don't know how Mama did it. I know she put a little water in it after she fried it. But I really don't know how she did it.
Well, Daddy claims that he can cook it just like her. Oh, I'm cooking just like he can.
He makes a lot of money.
That's one of his tall tales.
Yeah.
Amy would eat a piece of chicken. I said, well, is it okay? Yeah, well, it's okay. It's not Granny.
I never did know Mr. Hall. He passed away before I was in the family. But I'll have to say that Miss Hall, I could not have had a better mother-in-law. She was so good to me. And never did anything, or never said anything harsh to me, or anything. And I'll always remember that.
I told y'all she's partial strong.
The kids always had to eat after everybody else did.
Yeah.
And they'd always sit around and wait and talk and talk and talk.
And I remember on Christmas, we'd go in that little bedroom And she'd have Heather and me and Vicky and Christy and all of us, we'd sit down on the floor because by the time we were up, I mean, there were so many people in that house at Christmas time that you couldn't. So they were everywhere. You just sat on the floor wherever you could find.
Vicky, what was that with your daddy all the time telling about you? Granny couldn't keep you in the...
I don't know that story. That's
Oh, Mama can tell it. Mama, tell about Vicky climbing out of the playpen.
Oh, Lord. You couldn't keep her in there. She'd just come right out. And Mom would say, Clyde, watch her. She's getting out. And he'd say, Bess, forget her.
When Daddy found out that Vicky, that Ann and Shirley was expecting at the same time, he had a fit. And he was, of course, he died in the same year that they were born. So he, they don't never remember him. But he thought, I guess, because me and Clyde was twins and they was 3 days apart and all that, he was really tickled with them.
So Vicky, and then died the next December.
I remember that mean Siamese cat Granny
Oh,
had.
that cat hated me.
You couldn't. They hated everybody but Granny.
Because you got out of the playpen so much.
They hated everybody but Granny. You go on there, you try to It was. It hated everybody. Except her.
She got mean as she got older.
Well, maybe that was it. Maybe it was her cat. You couldn't pet that cat.
It's like
Who said cleaned up? I want some of this taken the house.
What you doing, Ma? Come.
Oh, I just want to wait up.
Something before I start. I'll leave that right there. Y'all.